It's always great to be here. And today we came with my legislative aides, Harrison and Jane, and we took a tour of the Talking Information Center, and we're going to come back and volunteer one of these days. Yeah, so we're just in the district today and picked a beautiful day for it, and they're keeping an eye on me.
You absolutely did, and plus there's a lot of Halloween candy left over down there. I've already made a stop.
Oh, no.
So so happy Halloween, and always good to see you as we do our monthly check-in. First, down to the basics. Office hours, something a lot of state reps mention. I think a lot of people go, what does that mean? I don't want to bother.
Oh, no.
I don't want to
stop
bother
by.
him. I don't want to bother her. What happens at office hours?
It is just time that we schedule that's open and free. You can stop by if you want. You can schedule time with us as well. But I do it once a week, every Monday, somewhere in the district. They rotate. So whether it's the Hull Senior Center or the Cohasset Senior Center, the Hingham Library. I go to Linden Ponds as well. And it's just time to stop by, say hi, ask a question, talk a little policy, whatever you want. And if you have something specific that you want to talk about, please don't wait for the office hours. Please call 617-722-2092. I swear to God, Harrison will answer. He's very kind, very knowledgeable, but please don't wait if there's something important like unemployment benefits or all the SNAP benefits we've been talking about lately. If there's things like that, or even just getting, the handicap placard from the RMV, whatever it is, please don't wait. Call the office and we'll get right on it. And if you want to stop by and see me or talk to, say, the senator's staff or things like that, we're just there for you to drop in.
Right, and you have all your social media, too. People can check out the different days and dates. Something we've spoken about before, and I know that you are a big supporter of veterans and veterans suicide awareness. This is something that you've brought to the attention of a lot of people. What's happening with that with an official designation?
So we have some good news. We put forward a bill inspired by the Partika family. They lost their son to suicide while he was in active service. And Mom was great. She brought it forward, and she just felt that we should make people aware of how many services there are out there and that it is okay to ask for help. So with Senator O'Connor, we filed a bill, and the bill was engrossed by the House. So it was passed by the House on September 22nd, which is the day that we would like to designate as the Suicide Awareness Day for military service members and veterans. Now it's on to the Senate for their consideration, and fingers crossed, hopefully we'll see something soon.
Do you think people would be surprised by the actual numbers, the amount of veterans who have?
Oh, it's shocking. It's like 1 in 9 veterans will attempt or will commit suicide. And the sad part is that there are actually services out there. Now, we'd like to always want to see more, but there are services out there. So it really is awareness of you can ask for help. It's okay to ask for help, and it's all right there for you. In fact, we're partnering with the Good Samaritans. The Samaritans want to help broaden awareness as well around this bill, and I think it's all good. So really, if someone's thinking thoughts, just reach out.
Absolutely.
We're here for you.
That's right. And we do a lot here with veterans. We do have the Veterans Voice Show, and then we do our Veterans Food Drive-Through the second week of every month. And I just hope this month they're going to be able to maintain that amount of food, because I know the demand seems to be rising.
Oh, I saw some articles in the paper over the weekend and even today, and it's pretty dramatic how many people struggle with food insecurity. And even in districts like ours down here on the South Shore, I think it's masked a little bit. You don't always see who's struggling, but we have a lot of seniors who need help. We have a lot of people with young families. We're very good and very accessible for disabled. So you'd be surprised who needs help out there. So please be generous and donate. And then if you need help, please step forward. We have wonderful food pantries. We have Wellspring in Hull and Weymouth. There's a lot of resources. And if you're having trouble connecting, again, call the state reps offices. Our number is 617-722-2092, and we're happy to help you connect.
And again, we're speaking with State Representative Joan Meschino of Hull. Transportation is something we've spoken about in the past. We need more ferries into the city, and I know that you're strongly on board with that. No pun intended. What's the update on that?
It's going great. So we had gotten a little money for them to do that a couple of years ago, and they finally got started. We are thrilled. They are at the phase where they're surveying people's ideas and interests and feedback. So the survey is actually online at it's mbta.com, and if you look for water transportation, you'll go right to the survey. Just fill it out, even if you've only taken it once, or if you're, a faithful commuter. It doesn't matter. If you have a business, you want people to come down from Massport, whatever it is, even if you're thinking about taking it, please fill it out, because they're going to use that information to form the basis of their inquiry, and then the survey results will come out about this time next year. So we're pretty excited. It'll be strong involvement from the South Shore to justify the things that we've been advocating. More service on the weekends, more service to Massport, more service circulating in the middle of the day. We do pretty well on the commuting in and out, but getting back and forth in the middle of the day. So, yeah, we're pretty excited about it. Please, please, please.
And I want to ask you, too, we talked a little bit off air about something we haven't really touched on before, and that's foster kids here in Massachusetts. Sometimes it seems like they really have, they're already in, I think, a difficult situation with sometimes a family situation that isn't the best, and they're going to a strange home, sometimes in the middle of the night. What things are happening to maybe help those transitions a little bit better for these kids?
So the House of Representatives just passed a bill for enhancing, now I'm going to forget it. It's an act to enhance child welfare protections. And what was really great is they included part of a bill that I had put forward as well that would alert the attorneys and the schools when children in foster care move around. So what happens is if DCF feels that they need to take a child from the home, that's an extraordinary thing to have happen. But these things never happened when they're planned. It's always in the middle of the night. And so you go into emergency placements. But what happens is you bounce around those emergency replacements. We've heard as many as 8, 10, 12 times. And you start to lose track of where those kids are. And every time the child moves placement, you lose touch with the schools, you lose touch with the healthcare providers, you lose touch with the attorneys. And so the bill is just very simply notice to all of the concerned parties so that they can keep tabs on that child that they're responsible for. Essentially, what the bill is doing is it's changing some of the ways we operate as DCF to put the child in the forefront of our decision-making process. The system should be working for the child. The child shouldn't just flow through the system. And that's what we're really doing is we're bringing the concerns of that child forward so that we're making the best decisions and the well-being of that child. That's what the bill will do.
Absolutely. I think that's
a great start.
I know there were in the past couple of years, there have been a couple of high-profile stories with kids who seem to have gotten lost in the system. So I think
that's a great example of how it can go so wrong. We've had some pretty high-profile instances. Bella Bond, when I first got in, the Almond. They're just in Harmony. So it's just there's so many really awful cases, and it's important and good to focus on them. But what these bills do is they focus on the rest of the kids. So if there's 1,000 kids in foster care right now, we should be thinking about how to best serve those kids, because most of those children will be reunited with their families within usually about 18 months. They put the supports in place, they get everything ready, and then they'll bring the children back. So really the theme is to minimize trauma on the kids while they're out of their home.
Absolutely. Something we have spoken about a number of times, and that's local community media and support for our great local media centers that produce programs in all these towns, all throughout the Commonwealth. What's the status on that right now?
So the bill, the House version of the bill is still in committee, and the Senate version of the bill went to Senate Ways and Means. So we've had some real progress, because in the past it's been the House that's been eager to do it, and it was really amazing to have the senator advance the bill. So we're working on language right now with the House chair, and we just celebrated October 20th was Community Media Center Day. And we spent some time with Watertown and did an interview there trying to promote engagement. So if you love your community media center, mine is Harvard Media. Hull does their own thing. It is a department. 143 TV in Cohasset, and all of the other amazing ones on the South Shore. Make sure your senator and your rep know about it, and make sure that they are still pushing and calling for that bill to come forward. So we're working on language right now, but we still need it to come out. So you got to keep up all of the activity and all of the energy. Make sure the Speaker's office knows.
Absolutely. And when you say drought, we just recently had some rain, but you have spoken about this several times over the past couple of years, how important you feel it is to have a drought bill. Give us an update.
Yes. So right now we have a patchwork of how we designate and how we manage. And the drought bill is actually very simple. It just gives the state the authority to designate droughts for the state, but also for regions. And then what that does is it gives municipal water supplies the ability to better manage. So it's about preserving water supply. It's about resilience for the watersheds. It's about sustainability and biodiversity. And if you everyone down here knows why it's so important. I mean, we look at the North-South River Watershed Association and all of those beautiful watersheds in the Ware River watershed. So we all understand how all of these things layer and become important. And in fact, we've taken steps for the North River corridor to actually protect that as an area of critical concern, and to steward the responsibility for that. So we get it on the South Shore, but we just need to make sure that the state is designating these things and that we're looking broadly.
I want to ask you one more quick question.
Sure.
I know this is a group we've had in here before. When I say Pans and Panda, I'm not talking about cute black and white teddy bears. I'm talking about something completely different. And there's a group of parents here on the South Shore that are very organized about helping family members that may be dealing with this. Tell our listeners what I'm talking about.
So some children develop out of the blue a neurological condition that really just throws them off completely. And it's very hard to diagnose, and that's the Pan and Pandas. And there's a great group of fierce, fabulous women. Jen Vitale runs the group, and they brought it forward. It was Josh Cutler was the one that got this bill passed to build awareness and to recognize what's going on and to call for better education, to call for better diagnosis. And they got that passed, and they are still going. Because now they're looking for services and coverage and all of that, and they're fierce and fabulous. And it's hugely important because, if you don't know what's going on with your child and you're seeing some neurodivergent, whatever it is, how do you even have a conversation with a doctor about that? So they had, building on their success, they are now part of the national group Look, and they just had a huge fundraiser and walk in Boston Common, and they honored Cohasset resident Peggy Chapman, who has devoted her career, her professional medical career, to these children, and she's really wonderful. And Senator O'Connor and I were there to help celebrate and to help honor Peggy, and for the walk. It was really great.
Well, no, we've had some of these folks on here in the past, and correct me if I'm wrong. One thing that struck me about what they're doing, talking about bringing awareness, they're talking about kids that may have had a virus when they're younger, and that has resulted in some behavior that's been misdiagnosed, even to the point of, well, your child suffers from schizophrenia. No, they don't. This is what happened, and this is part of these symptoms and part of that PANS Panda. And I thought that was pretty interesting. And I think if a lot more people knew about it, that they might find that there are more people that actually need services related to that.
Oh, exactly. How do you even ask your doctor about these things? And I think a lot of kids go undiagnosed and then struggle. And we should be supporting our kids for every success.
Absolutely. State Representative Joan Meschino, one more time, how people can get a hold of you and your office.
Oh, please call us at 617-722-2092 or email me at joan.meschino@mahouse.gov. and we'll help you out.
Thanks so much for joining us today. We're going to put this interview up online.
Thanks.
You're welcome. I'm Christine James, 95.9 WATD, 95.9 WATD, 95.